Ascendant Lands. Last time we left off, you guys had managed to make an ally out of Cole, the High Priest of Helm. And as part of becoming allies, they gifted you anti-fear potion, anti-magic shackles, and some anti-resistance potions to overcome the the woeful resistances that or immunities that such a creature like Bale can defend, as well as Ascending Stone, which I believe Nadia picked up. As a method of communication with Cole if down the line. You had just so as part of your conversation with Cole, you had asked them with whether or not Cole knew of a method that to reliably separate Bale from Neolith, and that is where we carry on today. So, as a reminder of the scene we have set, it is the morning. It is a clear and crisp morning atop of the tower that is the Church of Helm. You could definitely feel that the cold will be coming in the next few weeks and definitely months. And so the winter is coming to borrow a phrase, and it will potentially come hard for all of you. And so if in this tower, Cole, upon asking the question of Cole, if whether or not they knew of a method of separating Bale from Neolith, they sit back and ponder ever so slightly. They rest a hand on their chin and just stare in deep thought, trying to what looks to be like racking their brain on what they know of Neolith and what they potentially know of Bale. After about 2 or 3 minutes of just staring into in deep thought, they return the focus and look across all of you. I don't know. Unfortunately, don't know of anything reliable of separating Bale from Neolith. Although I do know that Bale is an independent agent. Bale is not a servant or subservient to Neolith. Bale is an agent that is seeking is from what I am aware of, seeking their own aspects, and is a mutually beneficial agreement or a mutually beneficial relationship that allows for Bale and Neolith to coexist.
What does he get out of it?
Your guess is as good as mine. Perhaps a relatively steady haven in the realm that isn't questioned.
Yeah.
That their presence isn't always questioned. Bale has likely travelled through this very city from time to time, and outside of this place, it's not. The Bale is not necessarily very conspicuous, or they, from my knowledge, they are capable of hiding their figure, and so if they're able to exist without needing to conceal, to hide, then that's most likely a weight off the mental strain of having to keep up appearances, amongst other relationship factors that speculation can only distract us from finding a solution.
Makes sense.
Mm.
Does make it considerably more difficult if he is, his own master. Then potentially easier if that means he's not tethered as such to the one he is defending.
I would.
We just
I would expect to be. I would expect to be possible. to distract Bale away from New Earth with the right motivations.
And it's that motivation that we need to discover. Preferably the first time we attempt it. We won't likely get a second. And there's nothing you can assist us with learning this motivation? Anything you may know?
I can certainly try to gather some more information on Bale, but unfortunately, the such a creature is unlikely to speak to authoritative figures such as myself as to their motivations, I'm afraid.
I mean, that in itself is useful information. Knowing what does work or knowing what doesn't work is almost as useful as knowing what does. Process of elimination, as it were. We know not to try to imitate one of authority. That will not work.
Probably depends on the authority, doesn't it?
Yes, but likely the authorities that would coerce them are likely ones that we would not be able to imitate very effectively.
Just saying.
Well, hopefully other points of contact will provide better information for that on that front.
I mean, that's their job, isn't it?
Well,
This was their bloody idea in the first place.
one can hope. Information can be tricky to gather, especially if you have a sort of higher based demon also in the vicinity.
Yes, indeed.
So yes.
Well, I wish you the best of luck. You have the sending stone. If I'm able to coordinate or assist further, I will reach out. And if you are in desperate need, then please do not hesitate to also reach out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Who picked up the sending stone? Okay, Nadia. And who? I don't know who picked up all the potions because I've got nothing in mind.
Probably also Nadia.
Okay.
They're on the
She's one-
table.
She was the one standing at the floor.
Can you-
She's the one standing at the front when we came in.
Can you remind me, or at least write down what those were?
In the chat.
Do I?
Is it in the chat? Okay.
Do I have them in my notes?
Yeah, it's in the chat.
Second.
I don't have them in my notes. I should put them in my notes.
5 anti-fear potions, 1 anti-magic shackles, 2 anti-resistance potions.
Matt, are these homebrew?
Yes.
Oh, look, that's alright. I'll just put them in my notes then rather than trying to add them as actual items.
Yeah, they're not.
So, I mean, I suppose it makes sense to get an. I suggest we all take 1 anti-fear potion each. Be the most
Could do,
prudent.
yeah.
As for anti-resistance, 10-minute use. The damage time. Oh, this is a poison, isn't it? Is that the anti-resistance?
Yes. So you
Um,
coat it on a weapon,
um,
and
I mean, again, this probably makes more sense for those of you that are frontline. For example, Thoradin and Nadia. I don't really think Desi can put poison on her knuckles and make that
What?
work.
I
don't know if that.
I'll give it to them too.
We can work it out.
Who's
It
going
won't
to
be
take?
useful for me, will it?
Well, you just coat your blade with it.
Like, he's not going to be immune to magical damage, is he?
But it's anti-resistance, so it removes his resistances.
Yeah,
It's just that damage you're doing to
but
him.
the type of the kind of damage. So if you want to remove his fire resistance, you have to coat a weapon and then do fire damage with that weapon.
Right. Oh, okay. Hmm.
It was how I understood it to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tricky. Because he's not
Alright.
likely gonna. He's not resistant to radiant. See, anyway.
I mean, mechanically speaking, Matt, can I put that on my knuckles?
well, I mean, you're immune to poison.
That's true.
Um,
That is true.
That is
I am
very
immune to
true.
poison.
Yeah.
It's more like, would it be effective?
Well,
Would
I
it work
can
as intended?
But
can choose different damage types.
Yeah. So that's the
As I
best.
hit.
That's the best way.
Well,
Really.
exactly right.
I don't see why it wouldn't. To be fair,
Maybe we should give both of these to Desi, since she has, varying elemental output.
Huh?
To suit the need.
What?
Very elemental.
Okay, sure. Opens up our backpack.
Who's going to take the shackles? I mean, again, in theory, it's going to be one of you
That's
two,
fine.
sort of motioning to Thoradin and Nadia.
What do you reckon?
I don't know what the plan
Looks
is.
exciting.
If we
We don't have a
grapple,
plan yet, Thoradin.
okay.
I mean,
You can always give them back to me or to somebody else if we do make a plan and that involves somebody else having them.
Mm.
You're not going to be stuck with this for the rest of your life.
this is more like if we were in a situation where we wanted to
If we
shackle
suddenly
somebody,
needed them,
you know, then which one of you would be best suited to do
probably
such a job?
Thoradin. He does
I've been in
have
I've been in many
godlike strength.
situations where I've had to shackle people. I'm
He
experienced
does
with
have
shackles.
godlike strength.
If that helps. Yeah.
Yes, probably. All right then, you can take those then. Yeah, we'll probably have to put it in other positions, won't we? So
I'll
Yeah,
make a
that's
note
where
just
I
to use
had
this
the
for the
list.
job as well.
motion. Cool. Anti-fear potion.
Is there anything else you guys wish to speak to or hang around with Cole? If business needs to be done, they'll look to be going back to whatever note taking that they were up to before.
Nadia does have a question. I was going to pose it like just before we were about to leave. Cole, if Helm is willing to have you assist us on this, why did we have to ask?
This is the nature of the gods, I'm afraid. To
Meaning what exactly?
asking for help is often the first step to not having an ego. And if you are to be of the right stuff that Helm or potentially other gods might want of you, especially the non-evil kind, proving you are willing to ask for help proves that you are not of evil stuff, as convoluted as gods may want to sound. It may make sense to you one day.
Maybe when I've worked out. Bale isn't the only demon running around the mortal realms. We told you, didn't we, about the other portal? You want to know how many people they killed before we stopped them?
Yes, I can only gather.
Yeah. And the protector of the realm needs me to come and ask him kindly if he's willing to put himself out for that. Because he doesn't want me to have an ego.
Absolute power corrupts absolutely. If you were to only seek power for power's sake, then
What the
that-
hell has that got to do with power?
if you were to come and asking or demanding for power, for help, for assistance, for now, for the blinding fist of God, come down and smite your enemies, or to give you the power to smite them for you, that sends a very different message.
What the hell are you on about?
God, it's God
Helm?
speak, you know. They never say anything directly. You know how it is. He probably just
No,
was
I
related.
don't. I'm genuinely completely confused.
He's probably too.
Not helping Talari.
Well, he's probably you know what? It's probably nothing too complicated. He probably was too busy watching something, some kind of play, just on repeat or something. You know, not paying attention.
Hey, sorry, what the fuck are you on about?
I don't know. I said like if I wasn't paying attention to something, that's probably what I would why I would, you know.
Shut up. Turns back to Cole, like, this has nothing to do with me asking for power. Got a whole camp full of mercenaries, don't you?
Yes, and they are there to. They are also serving the realm as they exist.
Got a whole city full of devotees. And this is the first you're hearing about it because I came and asked for help because Helm doesn't want me to have an ego. If you're explaining this very badly or I have something to say about his methods. None of it is flattering.
Well, the gods don't tell me everything, I'm afraid. there is likely others out there, champions or chosen of Helm, doing other tasks themselves. You were spoken to, you are very much not likely to be the only person to have been spoken to.
Maybe I'm missing something then.
Are we done here? We've got
Might as well.
Deszeldmir's already like sneaking out the door. Probably has
Awkward.
been for the past like 2 minutes.
Awkward silence.
well, we've got another appointment to get to, so we best not
Do we?
delay. Yeah, you gotta, blow up. Thank you for your help and your reliance. I'm sure it will
Yes.
prove very useful in the upcoming struggle.
Your help is appreciated. Sorry if I'm being rude.
It is very natural for us of the mortal persuasion to be frustrated at the gods.
They all deserve their heads banging together, if you ask me.
Some way, shape, or another. I'd probably agree with you, to be fair. But I do wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you. Right.
Let's go, I guess.
Cool.
That awkward look around, like, are we going? That a group tends to do when they can't work out they're leaving.
Yeah.
And you feel like the breeze just waft you out the door. So you make your way out of the church, and the rest of the morning is yours. What would you like to do?
When's our thing? To talk to what's his name?
Gel.
Talk to Gel. It's pretty much.
That was an icy question.
Oh, sorry.
Although if
Thoradin?
nobody knows, you'll probably have to answer it anyway.
Yeah. Thoradin, you
I
sure?
don't know, isn't it like time slot? We just had like morning time slot.
Probably around about this time
Be
anyway.
fine.
Yeah,
He's had a day.
pretty
we
sure
blow-
it was later in the morning.
We blow, he answers. That's all I know. Let's go.
You guys, go ahead. I just need to sort something out, and I'll meet you after. I'm sure I don't need to listen to Gel come up with some kind of price.
Suppose not.
Trudges off.
Fair enough.
Okay. In what direction does Deszeldmiir trudge off in?
Where are we? Just outside.
Yeah, you're in the city centre. Everyone's going to be heading towards this inn to the northeast, northwest.
I guess I'm probably just going straight to the bank. There's no like library or anything, is there? It's just
Not really.
yeah.
Not really in
No,
the
so,
city.
so I'll just go straight to the bank then.
Okay. To the bonk. And does everyone else go to the inn to meet with Gel?
Sorry, does, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
A slightly
Cool.
more concerned gathering of people go to see Girl than previous.
We'll let Deszeldmiir formulate their plans. And we'll go with the rest of you going to the inn and going, and again Ethereum Purple Wind is there waiting for you at the usual spot. Nosjual waits for the ceremonial payment of 20 gold,
Thoradin pays it.
and then ushers you to the same room, or very similar looking room as before, with the round table on it, with a tankard with the bit of string attached to it.
I love
Jewel.
the tankard and the piece of string. Best magic item you've come up with, like, ever.
So do you all, the rest of you still here, go in and sit down and touch the tankard. Touch the
Yeah, just
blower.
like trying to be as
Oh,
far
well,
away from
finger.
everyone else's finger as much as possible.
Yeah, everyone else is touching at the front and
Yeah.
Talari's touching
She'll
the
always
back.
be the last one, just to like, you
so
know.
she can find a good spot.
Yeah, yeah. There's one less finger to have to worry about, which is handy.
Which is, yeah, you don't have to stand in the
it's-
crowd with four other people.
Exactly. But you know, you have got Krusk with his massive sausage fingers that you've got to try and avoid. Especially with
true,
he's got a gauntlet on as well. You know, it's like it's huge.
Honestly, like Deszeldmiir leaving is like the least reduction in person you can get out of this party because the other three of us are huge.
Yeah, it's
She's a
very true.
tiny, small human being. I mean,
Elf.
Elf.
Tiny, it's like this titchy little drow, and then you've got Nadia, who's enormous, Thoradin, who's like equally enormous, and Krusk is even more enormous.
Yeah, got massive, dainty little
And
hands.
wearing
You know.
plate mail.
Yeah.
Well, I was just thinking of like standing gathered up in a
Oh yeah,
group, like you've got more person for your person, as it were, than if one of the others had left.
that's true.
Mhm. So, as you all touch the blower, a familiar voice comes on the other end. Hello. How is you all today?
If you actually got a tankard. Fucking amazing.
Is that the JC on the other end?
Yeah.
Yes. It's actually got like a string on the end of it as well. It's like the proper blower. I love that. Props. Actual props.
Very tempted to go get one of my tankards now.
Yeah.
That's fucking genius.
Great.
Sorry, just completely derailed the game by actually making a tankard on a string.
It's actually a piece of
What is it? Like
yeah, was
wire?
it? No, induction tape, just because it stays rigid better.
Yeah, not an actual string.
Something you roll.
Wow.
I love it. That's
so good.
fucking genius.
So yeah, hello JC.
Hello.
How are we all today?
Fine.
Got any good news for us?
Oof. Well, I've got some news. That's for sure.
What's a good start?
Usually
So-
means there's no good news. It's usually what that means. I find.
So, when we last spoke, there were a fair amount of unknowns posed between us that made the construction of a deal, a fair deal, a balanced and equitable deal between us few difficult. And I did promise to make some, at least to attempt to make some illuminations to the required knowledge, and I have enough to go on. So, the elephant in the room, as it were, Bale.
Oh.
As far as my sources can tell me, Bale entered Helm City through conventional means and does exist on this plane as themselves. They are not summoned as though one would conjure a demon or a fiend.
It's good to know. That means
Good news.
Nadia's axe could, obviously.
Even if he was a summon, I could destroy him if I was lucky enough.
Could you? I thought you would just like.
No, even if he was a summon, if the magic connected, he would be destroyed.
Ah,
This is good because it means all of us can destroy him now, right?
But it means that if he dies and the axe magic doesn't kick in, he'll be busted down to being, I don't know, a little squishy blob at the bottom of hell,
indeed.
rather than just popping back up as himself, really pissed. And the only thing stopping him from coming after us again is, I don't know, a 5-hour walk across the
Yes, it's all about the time it
lakes of
takes.
hellfire or whatever the fuck you've got to walk across to get to the gate in Bane City.
Pretty much basically the time it takes for whatever
Or
to
some other
return.
bugger to summon him up.
Yes, summoning is easier to return from than being destroyed, killed.
Yeah, you just ping home.
Yeah, exactly. So this is good. This is good news for us, which means if he's not destroyed by Nadia's axe, then he would at least take a very long
control it.
time. Oh, which is fair. It's a bonus, you know, if that occurs. But if it doesn't occur and we just defeat him normally, it will take him a considerable amount of time to come back, which is very handy.
Ain't he gonna be red in the face?
And who knows, maybe Bane will just kill him straight away, like he did with the that lesser greater demon.
Greater demon.
You know.
So, now that we have the greater challenge understood for us all, the price and the bargain to be struck can now come into focus. First, the means and the method, shall we say. To my knowledge, Bale is searching for a pool of water, as it were.
Wasn't expecting that.
I mean, there's springs all over the place.
Shut up and
Yeah.
let him talk, will you?
Yes, one pool of water is not special, but from my understanding, Bale is after a specific pool of water blessed by Eldath herself. Now, as some of you may be aware of Eldath's greater possibilities, she, as a true pacifist, does not tend to shy away from offering her aid to those who are able to find it. And so I may be able to point Bale into the direction of where a certain pool could be, and where yourselves could also be to intercept. To then have said duel of fates and whatever happens will happen.
Would you be lying to him?
A pool to pull, to be fair, it's so OC.
I'm trying to
For-
find the thing you told me about this and I can't find it.
So OC, please can I have everyone apart from Nadia and Talari roll a religion check for me, please?
Oh,
Found
that's
it.
not good.
Ooh, 19.
Ooh, nicely done.
Nice.
Mhm.
Nicely
Krusk is a
done,
religious
wow.
man, after all.
He is.
11.
He was raised as
with his-
he was raised as a religious man.
With his mighty +0 to religion checks. So religious.
The dice favour him. It's fine.
Yeah.
The
It was the
dice
god
know.
rolling.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Krusk.
What, Limp Bizkit?
So OC, for those of you who, so Thoradin, you didn't succeed, I'm afraid.
Yeah, that's fine.
But for Nadia, Talari, and Krusk, you've heard of Eldath having pools like this before, where a person, should they be so lucky, find a pool of water blessed by Eldath, they're able to restore their life to some considerable means. Limbs could grow back. Really, the stories vary far and wide. The crux for all of these stories is that anyone who has been first blessed tries to go back and bring more to them. That same pool that they have found is unlikely to have stayed blessed by Eldath for very long. And so there's lots of tales of woe or thinking, oh, how could I've missed out on such an opportunity of missing out on a bit of Eldath's blessing, of someone leading me astray, of paying such large sums, of trying to find like basically the Holy Grail aspect of what proposed eternal life, but or at least sold such stories. And the essentially even someone bottling up the pool of water, the water from the well, the pool, and trying to then sell said water later, found that the water became inert after a certain amount of time because the water itself, the blessing itself, fades away because Eldas, the
Not
blessing
having that
moves.
shit.
Exactly. To say it for better or for worse. So that's your personal understandings of what of Eldath's pools and how that works. For your awareness of what these pools represent.
Oh, like the basically the Fountain of Youth kind of scenario.
To an extent, it offers regenerative properties, and if you're lucky enough to have found it, then great. But to try and find it again is a fool's errand.
Yeah, it just keeps moving, basically. Sort
Pretty
of
cool
thing.
though.
Was it because it keeps moving, or because it's like a cooldown?
Eldas blessing shifts and moves.
Okay, so it just changes.
She's an alternate pacifist. Doesn't mean she doesn't like to play games.
No, that's fair. No, that's fair.
Or like
Okay, but yeah, just wanted to get that distinction,
Yeah.
but that's fine. Cool.
So back to Gel. Back to Gel. So, as to the truth of my sources, one can be so lucky. I can certainly point Bale in a direction of where a pool might have been or will be. That's at the Eldath, to be perfectly honest. But
So you're gonna give him random coordinates then?
potentially.
I mean, what reason would Bale have to believe that you would know where this said location was?
It's his job to know things.
Precisely.
Okay.
He's got his sources.
Okay.
How do you think I knew certain factors about Bale?
He's figured
I'm
out
a
where
man who
Bale
knows-
comes from, the location of the item we want. I mean, if we're trusting him for that, he might actually know where this damn pool is. Why the hell does Bale want this pool anyway?
That I do not know, I'm afraid. My guess is that he's trying to sell it or try and reuse it for something. I don't know.
Corrupt it somehow. That's a demon thing.
Selling it would be difficult if it
Perhaps.
has a shelf life.
I don't know. I honestly don't know why Bale is after such a thing, but I know that they are, and this could be a useful endeavor for Bale to be away from New Elith to facilitate our other ends. Now, if you're able to kill Bale, end them for even a temporary amount of time on this realm, then that goes a large part to paying the costs of acquiring what you want. However, it does not go all the way. It is only a mere down payment, shall we say, for what the rest of the costs shall be. To pay for the rest of what you desire, I require 2 dragon eggs. I do not care from where you source said eggs. I only wish that you provide them to me. And upon delivery of said eggs, you will have yours also delivered in fair exchange.
Dragon eggs. In any particular condition, or just dragon eggs?
Like a particular color, I guess.
Colors, I don't mind. I'm happy with any.
The eggs
So long as
they need to be like a certain like size of development?
As long as they can eventually hatch, I think that'll do.
You want to hatch a dragon.
2 dragons. 2 eggs.
You want to mother 2 dragons?
It certainly
Agree.
lends itself some major cachet, wouldn't you say, Thoradin?
I mean, you've already killed a
I mean,
dragon.
yeah, well, I've dealt with dragons before. Like,
Maybe
Yeah.
they're like birds,
It's
and
not an
if
easy
you're the
job.
one they see on the when they come out of their egg, they'll think that you were their mum.
Quite possibly. But they're not
He-
birds. So. Aren't they supposed to be smarter
he's
than
a
that?
he's a dude. Surely they'll notice.
I mean, yeah, dragons.
He's
Dragons
not
are
like me.
dragons are generally a lot smarter than birds are.
Baby dragon's gonna be pretty silly, isn't it? Baby human ain't up to much.
I suppose so. I suppose if they're fresh, they, you know, I don't really know.
You mean young?
I mean,
They're fresh. Meat, Talari.
you know, fresh,
Fresh out the egg.
fresh into the yeah, exactly. You know, that's what I meant. Like freshly born.
Just-
Sorry. It's near lunchtime. We're talking about eggs. I am quite hungry.
Imagine the size of omelette you could make
I
with
mean-
a dragon. Nadia's absolutely long since taken both her hands off of the fucking tankard to make gestures with, and so like poor Gail can only hear the other two's half of this ridiculous conversation. Imagine the size of an omelette you could make with a dragon egg.
Would be
Lord,
very
you
good.
dragon.
But that's not
Be
really
as
the
big as you are.
probably. I mean, I'm not that large. I mean, you know,
Possibly bigger.
yeah, probably like Krusk size. I imagine. But,
Well-
I mean, okay.
I think we're wandering away from the point.
Yes, 2 dragon eggs. And how would we deliver those to you? We don't particularly want to
It's a
enter
dragon
Bane.
egg.
We don't particularly want to enter Bane City.
Especially if we've shanked his pet demon.
Once you have the eggs, we can arrange a suitable location.
I see.
As you may have also guessed, having the deepest, darkest desires of or secrets of Bane also probably isn't best held to stay in Bane City. So
Makes a good point.
Any
really.
tips on any dragon dens that we can?
I mean, we
We
already.
Keep
know a
these up
dragon
from?
den we can go for a look round.
Yeah, we
Thoradin,
already.
don't we?
Yeah, we know a
Just
place,
in case.
Thoradin. You know, she'll take a finger off the thing. Remember the mists where we fought those dragons before?
Oh, I'm taking my finger off, but there could be an easy. He could, have
I
an
mean, they
easier
were
den.
literally parents. Like they were, So we could potentially go back there if there's any more. I imagine dragons.
Gale
That's
on
the one we
mute while
killed, didn't we?
argue.
Yeah, he's on hold. Do, 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 do.
Yeah,
Uh, we, we could always, in theory, go back there and, see if there's any. I mean, I imagine if dragons live for a long time, their eggs must spend a long time being eggs. We
Is
can.
dragon eggs the only thing you want?
they're the current object of my desires, yes.
Do you know of any
Is
that
dragon
are,
eggs or nothing?
Well,
I'm just curious now.
something of equivalent worth of dragon eggs, perhaps. Maybe 200, 300,000 gold.
So that was cool.
Perhaps I don't know. At the moment,
I mean, it's dragon eggs.
at the moment, it's dragon eggs.
do you
Figured
know?
it was worth asking.
Do you know do you know the location of any dragon eggs? I mean, we know of one location, but do you know of any others? Good to have options, you see, of where to be skewered by a dragon.
You're the JC, I'm sure you'll figure it out.
That's a no then. Okay. Very well.
We can work something out, right? The question is it dragon eggs and then go deal with the demon, or demon first? Given the whole deepest, darkest desires things, possibly it's best to do dragon eggs first.
I would allow it to be up to yourselves. I will send Bale upon his merry way, and if you're there first, wonderful. If not, then they'll be there first.
Take her finger off again. Considering, If
Yes
we-
or no? Oh, sorry,
Okay.
Sunny, carry on.
If we do defeat Bale in the non-destructive manner, he could return in the time it takes us to go and get dragon eggs and come back.
No, if we kill him, he ends up as a slime at the bottom of hell. He's not Bale anymore.
Is it slime? I thought. So we're talking Digimon here. So he literally returns as like its base form, and he has to work his. I thought he actually just turned.
Honestly,
I just thought he started at
honestly,
the ground floor as Bale, and he had to work
No.
his way back up again.
OC, my understanding is that if a demon gets killed on the material plane, not destroyed, like as themselves, not as a summon,
Right.
they get busted down to the lowest rank of demonhood. They're basically some shitty little imp, and they've got to work their way back up the ranks again.
They'll have the
If they
same
wanna
like
be-
personality and soul
it'll be
and everything,
Bale.
Yeah.
but they'll be like a little
Except only this
gremlin.
big. Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
There'll be a little
So so it's
forgot the
it's
word
pretty
is.
much Digimon then.
Imp.
It's pretty much
That's
Digimon. Yeah.
emotion.
If they're a summon, it will be what you were thinking
Right,
of
right.
like basically they go pop, they appear back in their bedroom in hell, thinking,
Yeah.
"Oh fuck, that's ruined my tie,"
Right.
and basically all they have to do is walk to the nearest gate or get resummoned or whatever, and they can pop back up just as big and powerful as before and go fuck you to
I mean-
whoever adventurers killed them.
Do we know how long it takes for demons to hit puberty? Is that a long period of time?
So it very much depends on the influence the demon had, right? So it's very much varied. So like the Erenyaes you killed, if their father was still alive, they might have been able to speed up the transaction process to get back
If
up. to
somebody
CP.
wants them to be a higher rank, they can get sort of like hoisted up.
Right.
Or if they've got like, because they still got all their knowledge and information, so they could like make a
Right.
deal with somebody else to gain their
Right.
power again.
Yeah,
But
it takes time.
given his level of power, it will take him a fucking while to get back up there.
Unless Bane fast tracks him because he's one of his like, I don't know if how where he fits in their hierarchy, but he seems important if he's looking after his head priest.
Again, though, if you failed a god,
I was gonna say Bane doesn't
No
seem
second
to like
chances
The,
with
la-
Bane.
the last big demon to fail a god got his head chopped off.
That's very
so-
true. That is very true.
Well, yeah. It
He's probably
depends, I
got a
guess.
massive queue of them.
That is very yeah.
It depends, I guess.
Just the
on whether
contractors,
Bane's
right? You
more
just get rid of one and get a new contractor in.
Yeah.
whether
Yeah.
Bane's more interested in dropping something on us to
Yeah.
like get rid of
Okay.
us, or whether he's more interested in like
Okay.
picking his
So really, then there's
ex-allies while they're down.
so then there's not that much of a difference then.
He'll end up an imp.
yeah.
Or a quasit.
Um,
probably.
to put a finger back on, you suggested that these dragon eggs were, if we only defeat him, but not destroy him. If we were to destroy Bale outright, how would that affect this price? Or the cost of service? Hello, is it still on?
you feel like because like the tether is still active.
Oh,
so
okay.
you
Well, that
have-
doesn't stop her asking the
Yeah.
question.
so it's not gone slack. Like,
No, that's
so it's not like Gel stormed off and let go entirely.
Yeah, yeah.
'cause So the connection is still active, but you can feel like every now and again you hear like a
okay.
as he's pondering the machinations of a destroyed Bale versus a defeated Bale.
And she'll take that while he's thinking, and let you give you time to think as well.
Mhm.
Talari will take a finger off the thing and go, I mean, if this is a much better deal, for his destruction, we're better off doing the Bale scenario first. Because there could be a way that we don't have to do all the dragon egg stuff.
Right, my worry with that though is that we distract Bale,
Mm-hmm.
they do the heist.
Mm-hmm.
If we've then got to go and twat around finding some bloody dragon eggs for this guy,
But we'll have the information, correct?
well, no, he's not going to give us the information until we give him the dragon eggs. That's the whole point.
But at least they don't have it. So it's within our
But what if
possession.
they take it back?
I mean, there is that, I suppose.
Or
mean-
what if girls fucks us over?
So that's a risk we've
I-
always
if
gonna
he-
have to take.
It would ruin
Yeah.
his reputation, would it not? He's going back on his established contract. That's not good for a reputation in someone in his business. I would have thought.
We're having to trust him for every single piece of this.
Mm.
That is true.
You want to trust him
What do
for
you reckon?
longer or less?
What do you reckon, Krusk?
Well, Thoradin, this is your man. I mean, can you vouch for him?
Well, I mean, as I said before, we were on a job, and this guy tried to steal a cut of our money, and Gel intervened, lightning bolt, didn't kill him, but Gel,
Yeah, but is his word
he can
good?
step in if he needs to, if someone's trying
Yeah.
to cut him off.
Is
Fuck
his
him
word
over.
good? That's the thing.
Yeah. Well, for all the jobs I've done with him, yeah. But then again, there's always a first.
Oh yeah, but if we're the first, nobody can blame us for it. If we're like the 70th, then that's just
Mm.
bloody stupid.
That is true.
But yeah, every time I worked with him, he's been trustworthy.
I'm sure someone of Gel's connections and ability, if he was to acquire the information, had to hold on to it. I mean, in the end of the day, if these eggs are worth 300,000 gold, he's going to make sure that that information is very well hidden. If it's not on his person, it'll be somewhere else, under a floorboard or what have you.
Well,
Not that any of my things are under floorboards, I'm just saying. But, just an example I've heard that people sometimes do. Not me, but some people do.
you could have pulled that off if you hadn't started elaborating.
Oh, okay. Okay, that was too much.
Yeah,
But the point stands.
I suppose the big question is are we willing to do it? Are we willing to go and rob some poor bastard dragon of his egg?
Well, this is what I'm asking Gel for. If we can
yeah.
bypass that by full-on destroying Bale, then we won't have to rob, let's face it, those very nice dragons that we persuaded not to kill us, and that we meant them no harm. That we mean them no harm. We're literally going to have to go there and rob her of her children, which will not go down very well. So I'd rather avoid that, personally. I don't really want to rob a mother of her children if I can.
I mean, she
if I
does
can
eat
avoid
travellers.
it. Yes, but they,
Isn't
if someone walked into your home, you'd eat them. Well, you'd
I
kick them
killed
out.
the
But
children,
would
didn't
you
I?
know?
I mean, if they mean you harm, I guess.
Well, if they meant me harm, yeah, absolutely, I'd shank them. But if they would just happen to be passing through, I wouldn't just shank them just for shits and giggles.
I suppose from a
Not
dragon,
that much of a nut job.
from a dragon's perspective, and for considering how long they live for, if enough humans or various other elf or persuasion or dwarf or what have you continuously try to kill you, 90% of them, or 95%, you're probably going to assume that they were all going to.
I mean, most people don't try and kill all dragons. Most people fucking well run away screaming.
Wow.
We already did though.
What,
Didn't we
run
kill
away
her
screaming?
children so
Yes,
she knows?
yes, we did. We killed one of them. You chopped
Yeah.
its head
We
off,
killed
Thoradin, from
one of them.
Yeah.
two of them.
There's two of them, yeah. And had to give back the head.
Yeah.
So she
Yeah.
kind of knows of us.
Yes.
I wonder if that goes against us,
Yes.
yeah. I don't know.
So it's a considerably
Risky.
dangerous task, which I'd rather us not do if we can avoid it. But that all depends on what this discounted price is.
Yeah. Let's see.
And she'll put her finger back on.
Gel, you seem to have captured Gel's imagination a little bit, because he's just umming and ahhing a little bit, and
High priest without protection.
so a defeated structure upon structure, a defeated Bale serves the same purpose as a destroyed Bale, but a destroyed Bale is out of the picture for longer, perhaps forever.
I mean, it's pretty much forever. We've seen demons get completely decimated, so it's very hard to turn back from that.
True. So, while Bale, if destroyed, Bale may be gone forever, assumingly. The reason they're here and the first place, their purpose for being here, doesn't go away with Baal destroyed necessarily. And so it's still only a matter of time until a equivalent power or greater returns demanding answers, looking for the looking for the very few people who are able to destroy the agent of their own.
But surely that takes the heat off you and more on us.
Yeah, sleep lightly and carry a very big stick.
Quite. So at the very least, I would half the asking.
So 1 egg.
Or, I mean, it's a negotiation fairs. One half of asking if you're able to destroy Baal. Perhaps in a different mood, a similarly rare or object could persuade me outside of a dragon egg, or 2 dragon eggs, in a defeated stratosphere. But there are laws of equivalent exchange here.
It sounds to me that this deal would be better served us defeating Baal first, so we can find out what the terms of this trade would end up being. No sense in promising or handing you 2 eggs if we don't need to, and equivalently 1 egg, and then underpay, and then go get a second one. Because as Nadia has pointed out, the destruction side is a random chance. May happen, may not happen. We can obviously try to do it, but we can't guarantee. So if we were to defeat Baal first, we can then discuss the terms and payment after. But at the most the most upper limit is these 2 eggs.
Okay. If we are all in agreement.
Yes or no answer. Are you actually sending Baal towards Eldath's people?
No. Do you have a map handy? I can perhaps try and explain
Got
where
one
in the
somewhere.
realm I'm
Yes.
trying to.
Yep.
So, to the east of the port of Eldath, and
Where's Eldath's port?
All the way on the right.
it's the slight east of the port of Eldath, and south of the pathway of Soon's pathway that leads between the mountains of Mistra and Shantier's farm.
Now, what's this blue wiggle? Is that a river?
Yes.
Okay. Pool. Is that the pool?
Yes. That's the dot on the map I have so very carefully placed. Not speaking of scale. But that's where Gale is describing to you as an approximate location. So to this location, I shall be trying to send Baal. It should be. I can't promise that there won't be anybody in the vicinity. Understanding that it's a pool of water in the middle of nowhere. But there shouldn't be. I personally wouldn't expect many people to be there. I can send Baal in that direction as soon as today, tomorrow, this week.
Okay. I mean, it is going to take us time to get there.
Yeah, but it's going to take him time to get there as well. He'll have to walk just like we do. Right?
Can he check? Can he fly?
I think he has to fly. He has to flap all the way there, doesn't he?
I know, but he would so there should be less obstructions. No, he cannot fly. Which is oh no, he can, but only for like 10 minutes, about half an hour a day. He can fly.
half an hour a day. What's he got? Like do a run and jump like a
No,
swan?
he has the spell fly, but he can only use it 3 times a day.
Ah, right.
And the fly
That's
only
been observed.
it's been
Does his
observed.
little wings? Does his little wings get tired?
It's magic. It's magical flying, so it's like
Doesn't-
floating.
Doesn't fly last an hour? Or is there
It's-
anything in this?
It says here 10 minutes duration, 10 minutes for
Mm.
concentration.
Okay, no worries. Just
Um,
checking.
Cool. Anyway, the fastest I can presume Pale to travel is by cart. I cannot promise Bale will be alone. I would very much expect Bale not to be alone. It would be very suspicious of me to try and persuade Bale to be alone,
Makes sense.
but that is where I can send Bale, and you can try and beat him to it.
Do you know who Bale's typical entourage is? I mean, we've
There's a-
faced quite a various, slew of demons.
Bale has a. I've seen one character around Bale every now and again, at least. A Warforged fellow. Never quite caught their name, but they certainly look like they've been around a bit.
Interesting.
Um,
That's not what
and
I expected.
I believe they might have friends, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Is everyone else here agreeing that we should go take on Bale first?
There's either 2 or 1 dragon eggs.
Essentially. Which, I guess in theory it's
If-
easier to sneak out with 1 egg than 2.
If Gale is happy to keep the item for as long as it takes us to get his payment, then yes.
I mean, there is that point. Will you,
Confident in his ability to keep it safe.
My heart will ache every day. An egg or 2 does not exist with me, but I will keep my heavy heart beating until that moment is found.
I didn't really
That's
answer.
not what I asked.
Yeah, that wasn't that wasn't the answer.
I have a brother. You can't pull the wool over my eyes that easily.
Would you be able directly? Are you able to keep the information secret and safe for long enough to us to acquire however many dragon eggs it is we need to get? I mean, what's
On my reputation, yes.
Okay. I'll
do
take my thing.
whatever I can to ensure the deal is done.
I'll take my thing off. Thoradin, is that okay enough for you? This is your code for people.
Yeah, I think it is. I've trusted him in the past. I can trust him again.
Okay. Very well, we accept those terms, and we will do Bale first.
Wonderful. How many days head start would you like?
Okay.
A week.
Yeah, how long is it going to take for us to get there? That's the question. So
We want to get there first.
basically, and
Yeah.
we'll probably have to do this here and not in Eldath, but set up traps, get traps, actually lay an ambush properly. Because we're not going to get that in Eldath because she's at peace. They're not going to do traps. So,
You can be a pacifist and still defend yourself.
I mean, Hunter still exists.
I guess, but
Eldath isn't necessarily a vegan.
true.
And indeed, although I would more expect Eldar City to have like defensive mechanisms rather than ambushing mechanisms, but you can still defend yourself.
True. I just think this place will probably have a more substantial.
You're almost certainly right. Yes.
So, with your fast methods of traveling,
super fast horsey.
with your horse,
Okay.
to the port of Eldath will take nearly 3.75 days, so nearly 4 days of
4 days.
travel. Plus, it's going to be rougher terrain, slower terrain, to get to basically the location, and likely won't be able to travel by car the whole time.
So
Probably
it's-
take another 2 days.
Yeah. So I'm thinking
Give
we
or take.
probably need about a 2-day head start, right? To set stuff up, to
I'm
strategize.
thinking more,
There's no point getting there a week early, is there? Really?
you'd know the terrain.
Well, no, but I'm taking that into consideration. So however long it's going to take us to get there, whatever that calculation is, add 2 days on top of it, so that we're there before him for 2 days.
Yeah, I was just thinking the space for stuff to go wrong. If we're having this as an OC discussion.
Yeah.
If we happen to get delayed, or Bale happens to be faster than we think he is, or
Yeah, if this was an
whatever.
OC discussion, there's a good chance he could just teleport and be there within less than a day,
Okay.
or anything along those lines. We don't know what he's,
Yeah,
mates with the high
also-
priest, and he's got
Yeah.
hands in high places as well as
True.
being super powerful. So
He
just-
can't he
the
can't
non-
teleport 120 feet every 6 seconds. To be fair,
yeah, I'd give us as
Yeah.
much time as possible.
shall we say a week?
And there's the non-zero possibility he could pop to he could transport circle himself to the Port of Eldath
But I'm not there, so
Yeah.
and just go from there, which is a lot shorter journey.
Yeah.
So if you were traveling from Bane City to the port of just to the port of Eldath,
Yeah.
you would take 3 days to get from Bane City to the port of Eldath.
He
If
might be
by your fast horse means.
He's probably going to turn right slightly before the Port of Eldath.
So shall
Probably
we?
going to take.
Shall
If
we?
he travels the way we do, it's going to take him like
Yeah.
3 or maybe 4 and a bit days.
So shall we say to him then to give us 6 days before he tells him?
And
Yeah.
that leaves us time to sort our lives out here, sort out whatever we want
Yeah.
to do.
Because we'll get.
Basically, we want to be there before Bale starts his journey.
Yeah. All right. Right.
Which, if we've got a week, we'll just about manage.
So 6 days. You give us 6 days, 7 days. 7 days head start before you tell Bale. That will give us enough time to go there, do whatever we need to do in preparation for his arrival. Is that okay?
I can manage that. 7 days to die. How
Well-
poetic could it get?
Well, let's hope it will go smoothly for all of our sakes. Because
Quite.
if it doesn't, and he arrives at an ambush and defeats us all, he'll go to the person that he got the information from.
Oh yes. So I will wait 6, 7 days to tell Bale. Once Bale has left Bane City, I will enact what I need to acquire the goods.
Very well.
And hopefully, sometime in between, or sometime after, we'll have what we want.
It's been an experience. Thank you. I guess.
It's been fun.
How do we
Is-
contact you to arrange the transfer?
Thoradin knows a man, I'm sure. Ethereum set us up, I'm sure. Ethereum or someone else can
set
do
us
the
up
similar
again?
job.
Krusk, do you have the circle for help? The teleportation circle?
Let me consult my diary of teleportation circles.
You've been here long enough to do so.
Yeah, I have helm anyway. Yep.
Okay, good. So if we need to get back here and get back on this blower, we can.
Yeah, definitely.
I need to know. Okie dokie.
Best of luck,
Thank you.
and don't fuck it up.
We will try not to.
Try not to.
It's good advice, to be fair.
Yeah, we won't. You can trust us.
Don't fuck it up. Oh.
Enjoy, and the string goes limp as Gel
You
goes
know.
away.
That gives me an idea, says Nadia.
Oh.
We only have to get in with a dragon nest. And then Krusk can draw us a little circle and we go and vanish.
I think that's how that works. Because he like summons a dragon, not an egg.
No, you muppet. Krusk can do little circles, so you can draw us a circle to Helm City. And we get. Oh no, because you've got to make a time, haven't you? Oh, maybe we can't do that. Can you imagine? Can you imagine just turning up in the bank with a dragon egg? Like,
Oh yeah.
hi.
To be fair, I'm sure it'd be something you'd be willing to pay the fine for
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
life
There's
or
a
death
fine.
situation.
Yeah. But then it's like 10 minutes, isn't it, to cast or something ridiculous? It's not like an instant thing, teleportation cycle.
Yeah, but that's 10 minutes you don't have to spend taking back out again with an egg. Like,
Yeah, I mean, if the question is, can we stay hidden in the den for that long?
good question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Should we go and see if we can find Deszeldmiir?
Yes, probably should. Do you want us to know the news?
Yeah.
Well, do we know where
do something bloody stupid?
do we know where she went?
No.
No.
Oh.
Well,
You
you
did-
saw
You all
you
last
saw
saw
them-
me go into the bank.
Oh, did we?
Oh, of course,
fair
yeah.
enough.
go
she
in that
went-
direction.
In that
After
case, bank?
I guess so. Teleportation circles are only a minute. That's all right as long as they're not in combat. You know, should be all right. Desi's, goes in, comes back out. Anyway, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right, well,
Go and see
I
if
guess
we
we'll head to the bank then. See if we can find her.
Cool. So, Deszeldmiir, what have you been up to?
So, I've been making edits
Okay.
on the letter I was originally going to post.
Hmm.
A lot of edits. Probably took her a while. I can imagine that by the time everyone's in, she's probably just handing it over. Like it
Sure.
probably took her that long to do it all. She asked for a quill and all that kind of thing.
Hmm. Like you've been like standing in like one of the teller booths, just like to one side,
Yeah.
just getting more paper every now and again.
You
Just
shit. Fuck. Yeah, pretty much.
yeah,
And
that's
yeah,
absolutely fine.
what I sent you is the updated version. And then yeah, as you all come in, she's handing over a letter-sized letter to the clerk.
Size letter.
Hello, Desi. Are you?
Oh. Hi. Right. Right. Gel, how did it go? What does he want?
We should probably discuss that in our abode.
Yeah, no, I think it would be nice to go to the house.
She'll look at Nadia going, I'm learning. Very proud of us. I did like chuffed with herself that she's remembered. Okay.
Got a little puppy wagging its tail facing my
Pretty
direction.
much. Yeah. Alright. To the house.
So you all wish to go to the house, so you make your way out of the city to be inconspicuous. And you are all now back in your interplane house. Ta-da!
Cool.
Sorry, my kid's crying. Apologies. I will be
Dragons
right
are
back. Just to be very clear, there's about 3 Elosius dummies and 2 Pit Fiend dummies this time. I'll be right back.
Bad day.
Wow, yeah. 2
It's
Pit
like
Fiends and 3 Aloysius.
It's like the how stressed is Deszeldmiir?
Yeah.
Anita, like how many training damage does she imagine?
Tell me
having?
about it.
Where we go in
It's
the
like
house.
it's like the blood pressure machine, isn't it? It's just a physical manifestation.
Yeah.
So Talari will get to the point where
Yeah.
she'll like be able to read it, it's rather than just checking the pulse. Right, this means her blood
Yeah.
pressure is.
yeah. Dangerously high,
Yeah.
I think is the answer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Right, Desi. Watch it. We'll probably easier just to just know
Well,
everything.
tell it out to me in full.
Okay,
I want
okay.
Full detail. Just
Alright,
explain it to me.
All right. So, he's got. Can you? Oh, he's still there.
No, it's
Oh,
just,
so basically, there is a cost to girls to share this information with us. Now, the cost will vary depending on whether we just simply defeat Bale or destroy Bale. But the cost for only defeating him is two dragon eggs. And but then what he's going to do is to get Bale away from the head the priest is Neolith. That's it. I keep thinking Euphemia, and it's like, no, that's the wrong person. Neolith. From Neolith is to say, oh, there's like a pool of Eldath that apparently Bale is looking for, and he will tell Bale where that is. He'll obviously he's told us already, and he's gonna wait 7 days to tell Bale. So we'll get a head start, so we can go there, lay a trap, lay an ambush, what have you, and kill Bale. That's pretty much the short version.
Okay.
Or 300,000 gold, which I don't think we have. Thoradin,
Okay.
do you have that? I don't.
Oh, bloody! I wouldn't be here if I had that much gold.
I mean, this is a thing, Thoradin. I mean, do we just get the eggs and just sell them and just forget all this business and live happy? I mean, that's 300,000
any
split.
life you want.
300,000 split 5 ways is a pretty nice sum of money.
You're not going to live happy when the world goes into complete unbalance and pains.
I mean, it already
And
is.
the tyranny gets completely enacted.
I mean, it pretty much is.
What she said.
But yeah, okay.
We're protected here, right? We can just take it.
Yeah, yeah, we
It's
can get
alright.
whatever food we want to. As long
No! Why would you want that? This
Away from all
place
the
is
chaos.
horrible.
as it's great. You can imagine whatever you want, and it's there. You get a full pantry. You
It's
get.
horrible. No.
Okay.
I like it. You're away from everybody.
Peaceful.
I need a minute.
Okay.
I'm gonna go punch a fake thing
Okay.
and 2 dragon eggs.
I mean, that's if we only defeat him. If we destroy him, with Nadia's very useful axe, then it will be less. He was suggesting half, which could mean 1 egg or something equivalent. But it's certainly, I mean,
Half eggs.
I don't particularly want to get the dragon eggs if I can help it.
So me and Krusk could, we serve Bahamut. It's very dragony.
Yeah, but they're evil
Now-
dragons.
I mean,
Still
we
stealing like
yeah,
dragon babies.
We're
to be
still,
fair.
yeah, I
That's still a
feel
bit
like
weird.
the baby's kind of innocent in
Yeah,
all of
babies
this.
are kind of innocent. Are baby dragons
We're
innocent?
not eating the eggs or killing them though.
yeah,
We're
they
just
You're
handing them off.
kidnapping them.
We'll
You're
just
still
hand them over.
kidnapping them.
Isn't it like child trafficking? I was actually taken as a child, so I don't know.
Exactly. You're
go
still
punch some
kidnapping
thing.
babies.
I
You're still kidnapping babies.
I'm just saying it feels a little bit weird.
I mean, this just suggests that we try to destroy. I mean, if we can destroy Bale, which we could probably do it in such a way that we could probably achieve that, or at least come close. We could then try to negotiate. I mean, I'm not very good at this negotiating thing. Hopefully Thoradin is, to maybe not pick a dragon egg and pick something else instead. Something that effectively doesn't, destroy
Involve killing
families.
babies?
Yes, exactly.
Don't they have a horde as well, dragon? Or if we come across something.
Yes, but then it's probably a little bit more. I mean, I don't know. Dragons tend to be a lot more protective of their horde than their babies.
I mean, I think they're going to be pretty protective of whatever they've got down there.
Well, there is
We've already killed 2 of them.
that. Oh yeah. I mean,
I've
that's
got to say, I'd rather steal a load of jewels or whatever than a baby.
yes. There is that. I mean, I suppose you could almost get like a teleportation circle of gold out. I guess. Just do a circle around their horde, and then just like
you get to wherever you're going. It goes.
yeah. And we disappear with it. We just sit on top of it,
No.
and we
Then
just
you
end
get
up
to
in the
other
bank. A
end.
perfect place to be, really, isn't it?
Yeah, right. Just literally showering gold literally everywhere. You're gonna freaking kill somebody if you do that.
Well, I mean, better than the dragon killing us.
I'm just saying. Turning up unannounced with half a dragon horde is going to raise a few eyebrows, I
Not-
think.
No, probably in a good way for the bank, right? They would love all of that, surely. And you're
Yeah,
kind of
right, yeah.
bypassing, have to transport it anyway. It's already at the bank.
It's already in
And
the
punching
bag.
3 Aloysiuses.
It's
in
like
quick
falling. It's like
succession.
falling down. It's like falling down in the clinic. You know, at least you're in the right place. You know.
We could negotiate out of the dragon eggs, but we'd have to provide him with something substantial.
Of
Yeah.
similar value. Yeah.
Which
Well,
again
what's,
is-
what's the thing that we have that's most value?
Well, let's
Our house, probably.
The house,
Probably.
it's the dimensional house.
probably. Yeah.
What if we bargain
The
that way?
last, well, the
I
last
quite
thing
like the
you need
house.
is-
I don't know if we want to lose it.
I don't really want to stay at an inn anymore, please. Thank you.
Oh, it's
Yes.
either that house or steal the eggs.
Where will we discuss plans?
Well, I mean,
This is true. Where will we discuss plans if we don't have the house
exactly.
anymore?
We seem to
Yeah.
do a lot of plotting, and we don't really want to do that out in the open.
Shouting from the 3 things. I mean, to be entirely honest,
I mean, it's open plan, right?
will
So we can
need
see you.
the house anymore? After we
Yes.
have our evidence?
Probably because they
So-
want to seek revenge, or Thoradin might want to keep it for whatever nefarious thing he wants to do. You know.
Talari wants the house because it means she doesn't have to interact with anybody no more.
I mean, preferably yes. That would be
Doesn't
very
have to talk
nice.
to innkeepers and sleep in beds that other people have slept in.
Very much.
I
Don't.
guess-
Yeah.
I guess it comes down to though: do we kidnap dragon babies or do we just sell our house?
I'm
Yep.
really not sure I'm comfortable with kidnapping dragon babies.
Yeah, me
Well,
too.
like I said, if we can destroy Bale, we are in a better position to negotiate away from the eggs.
Yeah, but Talari, we can't rely on
No.
that happening.
No, I know, but we can sort of plan a strategy to make it at least more likely, right? Like,
Surely.
I
no,
mean,
we
you
can't.
basically, as long as you hit them when they're weak, then it's right.
There's
Okay,
a
so you,
farm.
well, sure, but then
Yeah.
if they're weakened in a state, then we just
Right.
basically restrain them or do something to basically make sure that you do the rest of the attacks and finish it off. The more
Right, but
times you
they've
hit it,
got-
the more times they, you know.
Yeah, but they've got to be pretty weak. How many hits are they going to be able to withstand?
I don't
That's the
I don't
trouble.
know. Can you like hit them
Usually,
nicely?
No, how can you hit somebody nicely with a destructive magic axe?
I don't know. It's magic.
It's not a finesse weapon.
I don't know.
Designed for cutting people's heads in
I
half.
can't you just like paper cut them
Yeah.
or something?
I don't know if that would trigger the magic.
It's
At this
magic.
point, Deszeldmir's punched through the head of one of the Aloysius dummies and is now only working on 2. You can't
But
hold
it's
back
magic.
in the middle of a fight.
Yeah, there's that as well. I know it's magic, but it's freaking like
It's worth a try. That's what all I'm saying. It's worth a try
yeah,
to
okay,
like
it's,
if they
it's
get to a
worth
point,
try
if it's
to
if
give it the shot. But any blow I make, when they're weak enough, like to possibly be destroyed, is likely to kill them anyway.
well that's fine. But at least if we get into a situation where they look like they're at that stage, you know,
Well, you're
And
just
and
letting
someone
me do the hitting,
and someone
yeah.
else has a chance, like sees an opening, they just don't take it, and they somehow create a more better opening for you. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, like Thoradin or Desi or whoever can like whatever.
Grapple.
Yeah,
Grapple.
yeah, that
Yeah.
like
I don't do that.
Headlock.
whatever like restrain of some description, and then
I'll
you
go
can
him.
you can take your thing.
Okay, we can try, but we can't rely on it.
No, I know. I'm
Doesn't-
not
don't-
saying that
like,
we don't rely on it, but like I said,
But
increase the
surely it-
chances.
Yeah, but surely it's better to make a plan
I just did.
for. Surely it's better to make a plan for if that doesn't happen and then modify it for if it does. Like plan for the most difficult scenario.
Okay.
Well,
That's the
then,
2
As you
eggs.
split
No.
kick the last 2 heads off these Aloysius dummies and runs over to you
Oh,
all,
should do that.
just goes, look, if he said he wants something of equal value, the dragon eggs are not the only option. We just need to find something of equal value.
It's just the
And
house, surely. What is there anything else we can do?
I
Well,
do
we still
kind
something
of
else.
agree. This is pretty good equal value option
I don't,
for a
pa-
shady shit guy.
I don't
like-
particularly want to get rid of my house though.
Your house.
Our
Jason's
house.
yeah.
Talari, you know,
Sketch.
I know it's really great. It's a really good house and everything, but you're probably going to be outvoted. And I tell you what, if we do have to give up the house, if that's the only option we can come up with when we come back from our battle with Bale, then we will make up some more money and buy you a house in the middle of fuck knows where.
I mean, we could. Yeah.
Yeah, but she wouldn't be able to imagine up her dinner if you bought her a house in the middle of fuck knows where.
Well, that's fine. She can make her own dinner with magic or the really good cooking that you're doing at the moment.
But the one thing.
Hey, it was pretty cool, okay?
Well, I guess what we can do at this point is go for Bale and hope that we destroy him rather than just simply defeating him. I guess.
Got to survive the battle first.
Yes, that kind of brings me to a point. I think, like, considering Bale can teleport and what, based on our fight with the Nalfeshnis earlier, might be an idea to, protect the healer somewhat.
Might be
I'll
an
hang you
idea
new,
to
Talari. Don't worry.
But
might be an idea to practice group battle tactics. Because we don't.
Is it worth hiring anyone for this?
I mean,
He's gonna have backup.
we've got. Oh, I see what you mean. Well, we've got the
I feel
dragon.
like we're kind of
We've got
covered.
Krusk's elephant,
Got my horn.
and you've got your horn. I mean, we're
Probably enough.
pretty. I mean, the problem is with getting other people, is you have to kind of like pay them, and they're not.
I can
And
How
if
much
and if
in it?
and if we do actually get to the actual Eldath pool, that might actually make matters more difficult.
I can stay near Talari, and then Bahamut can, and the elephant as well. So there's like 3 people all around Talari, if we all stay there.
I think I agree with Nadia. We need to probably practice some drills, some
Tactics.
group tactics, ways to get Talari out of the fray.
Oh, one more
Quickly.
thing I remembered. Sorry. On top of 3 of like me, my minions being around Talari, I can also pick her up and teleport away. How far?
You can also
Don't
90
be
feet.
lightning luring me, Krusk. I'm not going to be impressed.
If I just pick you up, I can thunder step away, and I can thunder step 90 feet.
Okay, that's a tactic. That's a
That is
get the fuck
definitely
out
a
of here tactic.
To
I
pick me
guess
up,
if someone
Krusk.
scouts Cross,
I
get the
mean,
fuck out of here, do that.
So imagine this.
Talari.
I go on the elephant
Mm.
runs, the dragon picks us up, flies its max distance, then I thunder step. We can literally like
That
evacuate
might
Talari.
That might be a little convoluted. But
Okay.
Talari,
Mm.
Talari, if it's between you getting stabbed and you getting grabbed,
I know.
pick getting
I
grabbed.
know. Doesn't mean I have to be happy about it.
No, you don't have to be happy about it. You just have to be not dead.
No, I
Also,
know.
can I just say, Cross, by the way, that's a really far distance, which the rest of us would not be able to get to. You do realize that's a when we're running away and we've accepted the battle is over situation, right?
Yes, unless
Save
No,
the healer.
no,
really need
no
to do
one
it.
less. That
Okay.
is a end of the battle.
Mm.
We're all fucked. Get Talari out of there. Maybe she can res us later. Who knows?
I mean, it depends what he does with your bodies, I suppose. Remember, I
I
need your,
mean,
I need your intact corpse to do that.
I know you'll have to come back later. Maybe I'm not sure.
Well, that's
Can you
assuming they
do
don't
that?
rip you from limb to limb.
Yeah, well, this is what I'm saying. This is a we're fucked situation. Only.
To be fair, I
Do
could do
not
like
do
a
that.
smaller scale version of it if we just need to move Talari if something like jumps on her.
Yeah, like a shift, like 30 feet, maybe would be good.
I can do a
Unless-
shield wall with the berserkers.
Maybe if Talari really wants to go far, I can just do it.
Like I said, we can practice ideas. You don't work so well as a group at the moment.
That's very true.
A little bit sparse.
We're 5 very good individuals. We're not a team.
That's very true. I suppose we have to try and figure out what our pairings would be. I mean,
And
there's 5 of us.
strengths.
There's an odd number.
You change them every time. You
Ah.
split. You get Ulva to stand in for another combatant. and we split down the middle 3 and 3. But each time we split a different 3. Because otherwise we'll only learn to fight with the 2 people we're paired up with.
I see.
We all need to be able to react to each other.
Ah, that sounds like
Sounds-
it'll be nice. That'll be complicated.
Being that we have a week, do we want to get there and then perhaps do some more training while we're there?
I mean, there's no reason we
Depends
couldn't.
how tired everybody is at the end of the day, doesn't it?
I mean, to be fair,
We've
we're
got a
good.
pretty big training ground.
I could really do with drills.
I mean, we're gonna
Drills
be.
sounds really good right now.
We're gonna travel with our horse and cart, so we're not really gonna be doing much during the day. So when we rest, stop for the night, we can come back here and train.
Yeah.
Do these, do a different one as you said, different one each day. And yeah, do it that way. I'm not very good at
We'll at
this.
least be better at the end of the week than we were at the
Although
beginning.
I'm not very good at this tactics,
I was about to say, out of all of us, who is the most like team battle experience that can kind of drill sergeant us? Because
Thoradin.
I
Nadia.
definitely don't.
I mean, Thoradin
Me-
has.
Nadia sort of looks at Thoradin.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm practicing tactics with my guys, so there's that.
Yeah, no,
With the
but
dragon.
they telepathically like go exactly with what you want them to do. It's a bit different than telling someone to do something.
I mean,
I mean,
Thoradin's.
I've worked with thieves and barbarians, berserkers in my time. Gangs of misfits. Everyone had their role. Everyone had their job. But yeah.
Thoradin's Wolverine. He's been in every single group that's going.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, he is.
Every kind of Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
All he's missing is
Yeah.
the Canadian accent.
that's it. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Okay.
didn't fight alone.
True, I suppose.
Got a whole clan backing me up.
But then you're all very similar. Are you not all similar abilitied? Or are you all different abilitied?
Yeah, but I'm still working in a team.
True, but then you have to
Yeah,
do this
you look-
And yeah,
effectively
not
is to
every-
work with every single person's different. We're all very
Not
different
everyone's
fighters.
exactly the same.
The
are they?
main, I
No,
think the
we
main
are
thing
very
here
different,
is
but still
teams.
teamwork.
Mm.
Teamwork is teamwork. It's about knowing what the other person can do and making sure you're not in the bloody way.
Okay. Well, I'll leave that to both your capable hands then. I'm not.
If I'm swinging a battle axe around an arc like this, I've got to trust that nobody's standing directly behind me.
I mean, you're taller than I am, so I don't really think that's going to be an issue.
Oh, it would be an issue.
Oh. Okay then.
She's
Oh.
aiming for people, and technically, when you're within her vicinity, you would be considered people.
And roughly in the swing range, yeah.
All right. I will step.
Potentially, at least.
I guess I'll just step back further then.
Yeah. There's one guaranteed way not to get hit. And that's to be if she's going to unholster the axe. Hold it out by the end at arm's length. And that's to be further away than this.
Okay. I'm not really going to be swinging an axe.
No. But
Just-
if you don't want to get hit by me,
Right.
you've got to be further away than this. Guaranteed.
Matt,
I mean, I'm not going to be trying to hit you, but if you're further away than this, I can't.
She kind of like walks up to like the edge of the axe and is like almost like mentally looking at the distance. Like,
with the house, can we change it once we're already inside, or is it only when we're going in?
Transitions.
Sorry,
So-
you have to go out and come
When
back
Yeah,
in.
if we want to imagine a good training ground up, we've got to go out.
yeah, that's
and
what
then
I
we've
was
got to
thinking.
come back
But
in.
that's
And we've got to make sure we're all thinking about the same kind of training ground, otherwise we're going to get the world's weirdest mishmash.
Well, no, because like Desi does. We don't think about Desi's one, right? So I think there's precedent
No.
to say we don't have to do that.
No. But if we all think of a different training
Oh,
ground,
is he?
It's like 30.
Oh, yeah.
we're gonna end up with some kind of weird glitch in the Matrix style.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Why is it my
bizarre
climbing
assault course,
frame?
perhaps.
yeah. Which might be interesting for training, but you know.
What was that one that Haiss used to do? Was it that no? Was it Iron Man? or
Tough
something?
Mudder.
Tough Mudder. That's it. Yeah. It's like
Oh,
that.
that's
Mudder, yeah.
insane.
Yeah, something like that.
You mad
That was a
man.
lot of fun.
All right. Well, like I said, I'll leave that to you two then to think of the these combinations and tactics.
I will quite happily start training now.
Okay.
If you're not ready,
I mean, I
I don't
only
know why.
I only pretty
but I
much do
have
the
the
one
vision.
thing. You know, it's
I have a vision of like every time Thoradin comes to this place, he visions up like a homemade gym, medieval style, like downstairs in the basement. I don't know why I've got that in my head, but I really do feel like that's a thing.
yeah. I don't see why not.
A modern day Thoradin would absolutely be like a full on gym nut.
Yeah.
I reckon.
Oh
I
yeah.
feel
Oh
like it
yeah,
would.
he's just doing the big deadlifts, benching with like wood
Mm.
pallets or
Yeah.
some crap.
Yeah,
I mean, there's no
there's a
reason like,
Boulders,
well, like
proper boulders.
you know, there's a bunch of
Yeah,
these
yeah.
these rooms not accounted for, right? Like we could easily convert one of the like this one or this
Convert
one
it into gym.
Yeah,
into
I
a gym.
think-
Like
yeah.
no problem.
I think Desi will take advantage of Thoradin's home gym, where he's got barrels and massive cartwheels and all sorts like for
Just
Kegs.
mess around, isn't it?
Just kegs of like.
eggs.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the thing. You can do weightlifting with the keg, and then you can tap the keg and drink. That's like Thoradin's dream day.
Yeah, he's working out and hydrating.
Yeah,
Since
he's
I'm not
pushing
there.
it up to
Okay.
shake all the dregs out. That's what it
Yeah.
is.
It gets easier as you go because
Yeah,
there's less.
but it's
water
harder
in
'cause
it.
you're more
It's
drunk.
harder because you're
So it
yeah.
Yeah,
works out well.
more likely to drop it on your face.
Yeah,
it
exactly.
actually feels heavy as you go because
Yeah.
you're so drunk you don't know.
That's
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
so drunk.
Goes,
Yeah.
goes from
I
a
mean-
strength game to a dexterity game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
a mental, you know, you got to keep your wits about you to keep your head focused. You know, it's a good focus. You know, perfect.
We can train now if you want.
I guess so. Do you already know what how we're gonna?
Yeah, it's easy.
Okay.
You split into two, so let's say Talari, Thoradin, and Desi.
That's 3 then.
Everybody, that's three. Yeah.
As in
And
two
then-
groups.
2 groups. yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I
yeah.
see. I thought you meant like pairs of people. Okay.
Last person standing.
Huh?
Everybody can get hit
Huh?
3 times
What?
before they're out of the game. Play.
Got it.
Just listen to the end, will you?
Okay.
The game is that you've got to touch the other person to get them to remove one of their points. Okay. Don't actually touch Talari. Just wave your hand next to her face. That counts as being touched. If Talari, on the other hand, can touch you or wave her hand near your face, she can heal you for 1 point because that's what she does.
Yes, that's the key.
Right. So everybody can be touched 3 times before they're out of the game. The 2 teams versus each other. We've got Ulva. No, that's 3. Me, Krusk, and Ulva against you 3.
Okay.
And we're playing tag.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically. Okay. Because you'll start working out how the other 2 in your team move when you're under a threat that isn't actually a threat. But this will do for now.
I see. Isn't this a bit
Don't
unfair
sound-
because Desi could move at ridiculous speeds and just tag us all in one fell swoop?
But I've got short legs, so it
The
balances
teams,
out right.
yes, the
Short
teams are
legs.
absolutely unbalanced. For one thing, only one team's got a healer. But making this up off the top of my head.
Oh, I see.
And
So like they
point.
lose a point, but I could heal that point back.
You can give it back. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Also, Desi can absolutely come and try and tag us all, but nothing stops me from grabbing Desi by the shoulders and pinning her to the floor.
I resent that comment, but I'm not going to deny it.
Okay then.
You're half my size.
In like,
Again,
all, you know.
Resent, but do not disagree.
Until next time on the Ascendant Lands, you all propose fascinating games to be played as team building and how they fare out over your next 7 days worth of future travel, however it may shake out, will be highly fascinating, I'm sure. Until next time on the Ascendant Lands.